Hey there, amazing one. How are you? I am in my art room today, coming to you in my art space, and I am currently making a ton of polymer clay beads for a creative workshop that I'm putting together for to add to the library in my incredible Orbit Academy. And while I was here, I was actually thinking about a particular topic, and what I wanted to share with you this week on the vlog. I was thinking about this TV show that I used to watch. Ran for a few seasons. I think it's still on actually. And it was where they take people that you're probably meant to know because they're on the TV. So TV identities from TV shows, from sports, things like that. And they take these people and they go put them out in the jungle. The one that we have here in Australia is taking not just Australian people from the TV, but also I just don't like the word celebrity, so I'm not going to use it. So they take the people off the TV, and sometimes they're people that are from other parts of the world as well, and then they fly them over to South Africa, and they apparently stick them in the jungle. And then they give them challenges. And as I said, I've watched it a few times. And one of the things that I found super amazing, because I love watching human nature, human behavior, and the way that, our challenges can show up in our behaviors and our patterns and things like that. That always really fascinates me. And what I noticed a few years in a row were people deciding to leave the experience within a first week. Some wouldn't even make it a few days. And they would obviously then have to give a reason in front of the camera as to why they were leaving. And what they would say was, I had no idea how quiet it was going to be and how alone in my thoughts I was going to have to be, and how I'm not used to that and I don't like that, and it feels overwhelming and it feels emotional, and I just don't want to do it anymore. And it was a combination of men and women, but some of them wouldn't even last past 48 hours. They would just say, I don't want to be here anymore. I like the busyness of my life. I like living in the cities where I live, where it's just constant noise. I love having people around me all the time. I love having things to do all the time. And that really struck me, and also gives me pause and concerns me a little bit, concerns me a lot for us as a human species, that we have kind of got to this point where we can't even be with ourselves. It's uncomfortable to be with ourselves. And I think it's more prevalent than perhaps what we're aware of, because we've been really conditioned to stay busy, keep busy, be action orientated, be goal orientated, and I have no issue with any of those. I'm very much those myself. But the point to this is learning to be by yourself, learning to be with yourself is one of the most rewarding things that you can do. It is one of the most centering things, grounding things that you can do. It is one of the things that is going to help bring you home to self, because that is absolutely one of the purposes that we're here to do individually and then collectively as a species, is learn what this return journey home to self really means. And a lot of people ask, what is my purpose? We don't have just one purpose. There are many purposes of why we come here, but this is one of them, is this return journey home to self. And what does a return journey home to self really look like? Well, in a nutshell, it is it is very much centered around loving self. And then what does loving self looks like? Well, I think as a human species, we've really forgotten. I think we've regressed as a species in many different ways. At least that's the way it shows up for me in sessions year after year after year, where I see where us as a species in the past, in the long past, we're really emotionally intelligent, and and when we talk about intelligence, this was intelligence that came from our our intuition, our instincts, our heart brain. It was intelligence that came from understanding that if we work together, collaborate together, be in community, be connected, that we are our best selves. So self love is incredibly important. And for some reason, that the whole premise of self love has lost its flavor and has lost its meaning and its understanding in however many generations. But I do see that we're very much now on a path where many people are clicking back into more of a forward movement into exploring what does self-love mean. And that might not come up specifically as the wording self-love. It could come up as lots of other things, such as spending time by yourself, being able to be okay on my own. And I'm not talking about leading a hermit's life or, just being in solitude. That's not it at all. I think for some people that know, like deeply know to the core of their being, that is what they need to do, then that's true for them. But as a species, we are very much like baby elephants and a lot of other animals on the planet, where we're built for connection and we're built to belong into our collective. We're born to belong into the human species, right? But we're also designed to be able to easily and effortlessly, with it causing no problems at all, no drama, be able to spend time on our own for any length of time, and being really confident and comfortable that no matter what, you're a-okay and that you can meet your own needs. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. And I would love to know whether you do this already, if you find it easy, if you find it challenging, because I know that I was not brought up in a home or in an environment where you would do this willingly. I went to the movies quite a few years ago, and I decided that there was a movie playing that I really wanted to go and see. And so I just decided to go on my own because I'd got to the point a long time before, really testing myself in that regard, and deliberately challenging myself to go and do things on my own and learn to be with myself and really learn to like myself and learn to advocate for myself and learn to not shrink into the areas that I go. So if I choose to do something, not to shrink into that area because I'm on my own, but to become part of the area, to be open to meeting people and having conversations and trying new things and meeting people that I'm meant to be meeting, keeping that door open. I'm here because maybe I'm meant to meet somebody that I'm meant to meet, right? But I went to the movies one night, and I walked in and there was a lot of people in the foyer waiting to be let in to do their seating. And there was a couple there that I'd known. And I said hello to the husband part of the couple. And he looked around and he said, "Who are you here with, Jacquie?" I said, no one, I'm here on my own. And he goes, oh, oh, do you want to sit with us? And I went, no, it's okay. I really don't want to. He said, but you're on your own. I said, no, I'm really not on my own. And I'm really okay. If I wanted to invite somebody, I could have invited somebody. And he said, I would never do that. And he mentioned his wife and he said she would never do that. And this whole idea of being comfortable in your own space, and not only being comfortable, but actually enjoying it, enjoying what you do. I know what a fast stretch that can be sometimes because it's come up so often in sessions. And it really can be challenging for people, especially, well, not especially, but I'm just kind of remembering there's quite a few times in sessions where it's come up. And it's one of the reasons why people have been seeking relationships. You know, I want to be in a relationship so I don't have to go do things on my own. Hence, they don't go do things at all because they don't want to be seen to be going out and doing things on their own because they don't have a relationship. So there's all these places that they could have been exploring, all these people that they could have been meeting, all these things that they could have been tasting, all these things they could have been learning. The growth that comes from being on your own and doing experiences, I think, is not understood how valuable that is to you, how much growth comes out of that. And because you're on your own as well, the things that you are learning, whether you're consciously aware in the moment that you're learning something about yourself or you're learning something about the world around you, you might be learning something about relationships, whatever it is. Sometimes you'll be consciously aware of that, but sometimes, more often than not, a lot of that learning and growth comes in through to the subconscious first. But when you're taking the time to be on your own, it gets to travel further than just hitting the conscious mind or just hitting the subconscious, because you're moving about and you're using your sensory system and your instinctual system to navigate whatever it is that you're doing. You actually are digesting the experiences. And because you're not relying on somebody else for connection or to be with you when you go into a shop or things like that, then there's not that busyness around you. You're not distracted. You're not in a fearful state of being on your own. So then that's when, as you're moving around on your own, you're literally digesting your experiences. And through that process, it starts to literally digest down through the body, through its systems, through down through to the etheric brain, the gut brain, and that becomes wisdom. So being on your own, being comfortable about sometimes being on your own is how you become more wisdomful. Okay? That would be my strongest recommendation to you. Of course, it doesn't mean that you ditch everybody and always go on your own. Although, if that feels like it's your truth, then do that as well. But I have worked with couples in the past where they will go on separate holidays together. And the growth that they get out of that as an individual, where they then learn, grow, become more wisdomful, then they come back and meet each other when they come back off holiday, and sometimes they'll go at the same time in opposite directions. Sometimes one will stay home work and the other one goes off on a holiday. That's a couple that really grows together, really grows together. So you can do it even if you are in a relationship, even if you do a lot with your family. You can still absolutely go out and become a bigger, brighter, more confident, more self-loving version of yourself just by going out and getting comfortable with being in your own space and doing things on your own. So I I would really love to know how you find that, like truly just being on your own. And what would you say to somebody if you were out on your own and you met them at the park or at the movies or at a restaurant, and they said to you, "Oh my gosh, you poor thing, you don't have anybody with you," what would you say? Have you been in that experience? What did you say? Because that's where you really see somebody else's own belief system, which is neither right nor wrong. It just is what it is. But I would love to hear from you either way. Okay, I'm off to finish doing this beads so I can finish recording the rest of the workshop for the people in my incredible orbit. Thanks so much, lovely people. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and the rest of the week, and I'll see you really soon. Remember, it's about living life on your own terms. Find what works for you. All right? Bye for now.